Good morning, children. Welcome back with the next new session. So till now we were discussing only the geography topics. So today we are going to discuss a topic that is from history. So our lesson is New Kings and Kingdoms. So our lesson is New Kings and Kingdoms. So before just going deep into the lesson, let me just tell you, we people living in city of Rajahmundry, where a city was once ruled by the king known as Rajaraja Narendrudu. Rajaraja Narendrudu. In the same way, like the king we have in Rajahmundry, in the same way our country India was also ruled by different kings. Okay, different parts of India was ruled by different kings. Okay, so every time we see that different parts were ruled by the king. So the first duty of the king was to look after its kingdom, look after for its betterment of its kingdom. That means what he can do for the betterment of its kingdom, or what the needs he can satisfy, what the needs he can do to satisfy his people who are living in the kingdom. So here is a picture I'll show you, where different parts of India were ruled by different kings. So see children, so this is a picture of India. This is a map of India where different colored parts, see there are some orange, some are in pink, some are in green. So these are the different places which were ruled by different kings. Okay, here see, there are some names like Rashtrakutas, Cholas, Pandyas, Pallas, okay, Chahamanas. There are some different people who have ruled the different parts in our country. So not only them, along with them they were we also know that some 200 years Britishers have also ruled us. Okay, so after the Britishers, the Nizams or the Muhammads or this this Muslim kings have also ruled our country. Okay, so about them in detail we are going to learn in this lesson. Okay, so now, so as just I have discussed that the king's first duty is to look after his kingdom, whether all his people are getting all the facilities, or any of the person in the kingdom is suffering from any problem. It may be of food, it may be of shelter, or it may be of transport, or it may be whatever personal problems it may be. In those days, people used to approach the king whenever there is a problem in the kingdom, or maybe some robbery, some theft, or whatever it happens. Maybe because of poor conditions, there are no food to eat. For every single thing, there was a solution which was given by the king. Okay, so from there onwards, emergence of new kingdoms have started. Emergence, that means starting of new dynasties. Here dynasties means kingdom. By the time of 7th century, now 7th century means some 1600s, 1650s are known as 17th century. Okay, so by the time of 17th century, so there were different kings. So every king used to have their assistant, or we in this lesson we call them subordinates. We in this lesson call them as subordinates. Okay, so all these subordinates are also known as Samantas. Okay, these subordinates are also known as Samantas. Now, for example, in the present day situation, we see our political leaders, that means either prime minister or president, okay, or any other political leader. Everyone has one or the other person who is assisting him to what to work, or how to rule, like how to look after the country, or how to look after the particular state, isn't it? Or they may have a personal secretary who is assisting them, or who is just giving the message that they have received from the people in their kingdom, or given a message from the people who is living in the state or living in the same country. So the people like the subordinates or Samantas, for the kings they are the people who are like assistant kind of a people, who used to be behind the kings all the time. So they used to go wherever the king go. These are the people, subordinates or Samantas are the people who used to go along with the king. So these subordinates or Samantas used to enjoy their this kings used to give them a lot of importance in the kingdom. So they used to enjoy that importance, as well as even in the absence of the king also they used to look after the kingdom. Now, these subordinates or samantas were expected to bring any kind of gifts or offer any different things like land or jewelry or whatever precious metal. It was expected them to get some gifts or offer any kind of precious things. They have to offer it to the king. They have to offer it to the king. So every time they offer, they have to present, whatever they are gifting, they have to present that thing in the king's courtyard. That means before everyone, they have to present whatever they have brought for the king. Even in return, the king gives them more importance. Okay, so as for example, as you people do to be a class leader or something, what you do, you try to impress the teachers, like bringing books or like bringing any kind of pens or giving something. You do, no, you have your own tricks and tips and tricks. In the same way, in order to get the leadership, in the same way this subordinates work was also like that. Okay, they used to bring kind of gifts and they used to offer them in the king's courtyard to the kings before everyone. Now, one such instance was happened by the person by the subordinates known as Rashtrakutas. By the subordinates known as Rashtrakutas. So Rashtrakutas were the subordinates of Chalukyas. Rashtrakutas, the subordinates of Chalukyas. They are the subordinates of Chalukyas in Karnataka. So what happened is, one such incident, what happened is, the person Rashtrakuta, among the subordinate Rashtrakuta, there was one person known as Danti Durga. There was a person known as Danti Durga. Okay, a Rashtrakuta, a subordinate known as Danti Durga. What he has done is, he has performed a ritual. He has performed a ritual. So that ritual means, what kind of ritual it is we do yagnyas and homas, no, at home, like homam and yagnyam at home, no. That means in a square part they just fire some this wooden, what is it, wooden barks and all, they fire it and they put the ghee into that. Okay, that yagnya kind of thing, no. Homam is done, usually done by the Hindu, it is done in the Hindu religions. Okay, especially during some festivals or during some home ceremony or something. Okay, new home ceremony or something, home housewarming functions. Usually people do such. Usually people in the Hindu religious, we people do like that. So it was one of the religious ritual which was done by the person Danti Durga. So that so what is that ritual is? So the ritual is known as Hiranya Garbha. Please remember the name Rashtrakutas, from subordinates of Chalukyas. Among the Rashtrakutas, there is a person known as Danti Durga. So he has done a ritual which is known as Hiranya Garbha. He has done a ritual known as Hiranya Garbha. Now here Garbha means womb. Garbha means womb. That means a baby where it stays in the mother's belly. It is known as womb. W-O-M-B, womb. That means a baby where it stays in the mother's stomach is known as womb. So Hiranya Garbha is a ritual which was performed by the Brahmins. So what happened is, this Danti Durga has performed that ritual in order to become a Kshatriya. Now who is a Kshatriya? Person who participates in the wars. Okay, person who does participate in the activities of wars and battles, that person is known as Kshatriya. So it is said that Hiranya Garbha is a ritual which was performed by the Danti Durga. So he got the rebirth there. He got a rebirth as a Kshatriya. He got a chance of taking a rebirth of being a Kshatriya. So that rebirth ritual is known as Hiranya Garbha. Okay, now, so what happened next is, so this person has done this Hiranya Garbha. So followed by him, there were some other other people. Whenever they wanted to become this Kshatriya, so they used to perform this kind of ritual. So like the people like Gujara Pratihara, please remember these names. Gujara Pratihara, okay, Gujara Pratihara, and there are some other kings who were born as a Brahmin but want to take a rebirth as a Kshatriya. That means wanted to leave, they really like wanted to leave their community and want to join the community of Kshatriya by performing the ritual known as Hiranya Garbha. Okay, so this was the procedure which usually people used to do in those days. Now what happened is, all these things, whatever has happened so far in the history, who were the kings, what they have done, what were the incidents that has happened during that century, that during that particular king. So all these things were written in a plate of, like in a copper plate, is known as Prahastis. Okay, is known as Prahastis. So Prahastis means invocation, that means a written part about the kings as well as the kingdom or any such incidents. It was written on the copper plates known as Prahastis. Okay, I'll just write it over here. Prahastis. So Prahastis are the copper metal, like on the copper plates on where the kingdoms details as well as the situations was, everything was recorded in that. So it was recorded by the Brahmins usually in those days in the Sanskrit. Okay, it was written in the Sanskrit, and people wherever the local language, or for example if it's a Karnataka in their own local language, or if it is Tamil Nadu in their own local language, or any parts of the country in India, any parts, so they used to write in their own language. But the major portion, that means the most of the part, was written in Sanskrit. Okay, that too by the Brahmins. Now, so what happened is, every time they used to write whatever has incidents has happened so far in the kingdom is all been mentioned here. So what happened next? So there was a person in the Kashmir. The author name is Kalhana. Okay, the person who has written a long poem in the Prahastis about their king as well as the kingdom. Okay, he has written a long poem in the Prahastis in the Kashmir during the 12th century. So he has included the eyewitness, or like eyewitness means at that time, apart from the king, who were the other people who were who was there in such incident. For example, if he might be discussing about some battle, or might be writing a poem on how did the king has taken some big decisions, every single thing he has mentioned in that poem. And along with that eyewitness, that means at that time when the situation was going on, who were the other famous people who were listening, or who was just involved in the situation. So every single thing was written in that. Okay, now this kings, what they used to do is, whenever this Brahmins used to write the Prahastis, so they were given gifts to the kings, gifts to the Brahmins. So because of the service what the Brahmins have done for them, in return the kings used to give them a kind of gifts. Okay, so these gifts were given in terms of land. So usually these Brahmins, when the land was given to them, it is of their wish to what they want to use the land. Okay, what the Brahmins can make out of the land. Now they can construct their own house. Okay, they can use that land for agriculture purpose, or for irrigation purpose, or for tanks. Okay, or can give this land to the people for lease. Lease means giving for rent, giving his land for rent, for agriculture purpose or whatever purpose it is. Giving land for lease, a lease. Okay, L-E-A-S-E, lease. L-E-A-S-E, lease. Lease means giving rent for some time. Okay, so this Brahmin can give his land to some other people on lease. Okay, or he may use for constructing this bridges or dams. Okay, or maybe he can give his land for whatever the tax he can collect. By giving the land, he can do anything of whatever he wishes. Okay, But if we put any water facility, like if we put any irrigation facilities, like making of tanks or digging the land to collect the water, so if any such situation comes, he is not supposed to waste the water from the land. Okay, if that land is used for collecting the water or for any water purpose, that means that means providing water to the fields or any such work, if he starts in that particular land, he should not waste any water from that land. Okay, so this was one of the condition the kings have given them. Okay, now so whenever these kings used to offer different offer different lands or give them different gifts, so every time they used to, these Brahmins used to not encourage, they used to just give them like you're so and so great king, you have given me such thing. They used to just appreciate them. So in return, what these kings used to do is, they used to get motivated by themselves and they used to call them Maharaja, Adi Raja, okay, Tribhuvana Chakravarti, okay, Maharaja, Adi Raja, Tribhuvana Chakravarti. So these kind of titles they used to add before their names. Like we have no Raja Raja Narendrudu, in same way as Maharaja Raja Raja Narendrudu or Adi Raja 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 Narendrudu. Any kind of titles they used to adopt it before their names. So this was the titles which were given by themselves to the kings. By themselves they used to give this kind of a kingdom, like this kind of a titles. Now Tribhuvana Chakravarti means a king who is a king for the 3 worlds. Who is a king for 3 worlds. That means we have like the heaven, the earth and the and the hell. So we say no, there are 3 worlds: the heaven, the earth, like means the earth we live, and the hell. So a person who is Tribhuvana Chakravarti is known as, he is the king for these 3 worlds. Okay, so such kind of titles they used to give. Now when they were battles in the kingdoms, so what is the reason of battle? Why did the people fought? Usually people, we know that people used to fight in order to occupy others' kingdom. Okay, in order to occupy others' kingdom. So how it is helping the people? How they are going to, how these people in his own kingdom are going to enjoy the other kingdom, or how they are going to get the other resources. Like for example, person who is living in Deccan areas, that means there are no water facilities. Now these kings have an eye on the places where the other kingdom is near the water. That means the coastal areas, or which have a facilities of river water. Now their eyes will be always on other places. So if we occupy that place, so we can get the water facilities, we can get irrigation facilities. Okay, we can agriculture will be up to date. All my people in my kingdom will be having food for all the four times a meal. So all these facilities, what the king can do, how he can expand his kingdom. So all these things used to happen during the war. That means this was all the situations what the kings keep in mind before going to the battles. Okay, so among them, so there is a place known as Kanauj. So for that place, there were 3 parties who have involved in the battle. So they are Gujara Pratihara, Pallas and Chalukyas. Okay, Gujara Pratihara, Pallas and Rashtrakutas. Gujara Pratihara, Pallas and Rashtrakutas were the 3 parties who have involved in this war. So over to occupy the places of Kanauj. So this battle battle among these 3 parties was known as Triparty struggle. Please remember this. This is very important. Triparty struggle. Tree means TRI. Tree means 3 parties are involved in this. So Triparty struggle is a war which was happened among the 3 dynasties known as Gujara Pratihara, Rashtrakutas and Pallas. They were the subordinates, and this was happened among these 3 parties known as Triparty struggle. Okay, so this was the lesson so far. So our lesson was New Kings and Kingdoms. So in the beginning of the lesson, we have discussed about the kings as well as their subordinates, as well as how the main subordinate, the Rashtrakuta subordinates of Chalukyas. Okay, we have discussed a person known as Danti Durga from Rashtrakuta, who has performed a ritual known as Hiranyagarbha. Okay, so whatever they perform or whatever the kings do, it was all mentioned in a copper plates known as prahastis. Okay, and so far we have also discussed the kings when they used to gift any kind of like land or any kind of precious things, they used to give to their Brahmins in because of the prahastis that they have, the work that they have done for them. Okay, so we have also discussed the titles which they have given by themselves. Okay, and what is the benefit of occupying the other lands, like other places, like what is the benefits, what they used to think before going to the battle. All these things we have discussed in this lesson. In the further lesson, we are going to discuss about the other kings as well as the agriculture as well as the irrigation, how it has developed in other by the other kings in different parts of the country. So for any more doubts and queries, please ask us immediately, and we'll meet up in the next topic upcoming class. Till then, bye children. Thank you. Have a nice day.